Is this going to be the priciest divorce in history?
Yes, even without all the salacious stuff that we're hearing on all the other reports out there. I just looked this up just a few moments ago just to look back in history what are the most expensive divorces ever. Previously in 1999, Rupert Murdoch divorced his wife Anna of 31 years. She got $1.7 billion. The most, however, expensive divorce ever was Alec Wildenstein. You might know his wife, Jocelyn Wildenstein. She's a socialite here in New York. She is referred to, because of all the plastic surgery she's had on her face, as the notorious Catwoman. She, by the way, has $3.8 billion she got from that divorce. Either way, MacKenzie Bezos is going to be making exponentially more than that, depending upon
richest woman in the world if she gets half, right?
Will, regardless of how this pans out, whether or not they had a prenup or not, and we can get into that in a second, she will be one of the top 5 richest people in the world after this, and she will be the richest woman in the entire world after this.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. The reporting shows that there's some inkling that they didn't have a prenup.
So this is where it all gets crazy. You think again, Jeff Bezos, $137 billion according to Bloomberg's Billionaires Index, would maybe have a prenup or some sort of contractual stipulation with their marriage, given that they've been married for 25 years and he is the richest man on the planet. They did get divorced in Washington State, which has a community property law, which basically states if you do not have a prenup, whoever you are divorcing is entitled to half of whatever you accrued over the course of the duration of your marriage. So that essentially means if Jeff Bezos is worth $137 billion, that means MacKenzie is up to about $70 billion. Hold on, let me just say one last thing. TMZ is reporting this morning. Again, this is only on TMZ's sources, so we can't back up any of this. TMZ sources are saying that there wasn't a prenup whatsoever between them because they were married before he created Amazon.
They dated for 3 months.
They dated for 3 months before Amazon was even created, so why would he have created a prenup? That essentially adds a huge...
And she helped with it.
Exactly.
And that
so
is my
then,
point.
that does give great... So if they filed in Washington and they don't have a prenup, she is eligible for up to about $70 billion in this divorce.
Okay, so I think it's important to note here, though, that I would think, and I'm not a divorce attorney, but I would think a divorce attorney would have a very good case in saying that MacKenzie Bezos had a very significant factor in helping Jeff Bezos.
She was the bookkeeper in the early days.
She was one of Amazon's earliest employees. The two of them, after meeting at a hedge fund here in New York City and dating for 3 months, decided to move to Washington together. She was with him every step of the way. They've been married for 25 years.
4 kids.
4 kids. It absolutely would make sense that she was with Jeff Bezos when he had nothing. So I think it absolutely makes sense that it can be argued that she had a significant role in making Jeff Bezos into what he is today and helping him become the richest man in the world.
Now, there are a couple other interesting wrinkles into all of this. And based off Jeff Bezos' statement that he put out yesterday, it seems like it's an amicable divorce. They're leaving as best friends, as he put it in the statement.
Despite the headlines.
Despite the headlines out there, and we can talk about that in a second, but it seems like they're leaving on good terms. However, the information is reporting this morning that Jeff Bezos has a 16% stake and controlling stake in Amazon. Based on the community property laws in Washington, she would be eligible for half of that. That means Jeff Bezos would only own 8% of Amazon. She would also own 8% of Amazon now.
Right, so his ownership would be diluted. The guy that has been the face of Amazon for a long time. I also wonder, this isn't a guy who does a lot of interviews, and so the goodwill, right, for basically a home shopping e-commerce company. I mean, that's still a piece of the puzzle that I'm trying to figure out.
Right, there are, okay, now we're getting into the interesting part here is there's a bunch of different tabloid reports about what Jeff Bezos has done leading up to this particular part of the divorce. I don't envision this impacting the stock price of Amazon too much, but it's important to note that the National Enquirer apparently has pictures of Jeff Bezos with Lauren Sanchez, who is a former television host. I find that a coincidence that Jeff Bezos probably got a tip that this was coming out, and that's why Jeff Bezos announced yesterday, to get ahead of the story, that he was divorcing his wife. Because let's just say if Jeff Bezos did not do this, and all of a sudden this story comes out with photos of text messages and photos of him with another woman, I don't know what that would do to the stock price, or if that would make people think twice about investing.
Or the content deals, Baker.
Or the content deals, especially because Lauren Sanchez's ex-husband is a huge, huge, huge entertainment agent representing people like Christian Bale, Matt Damon, the likes. And we know that Amazon wants to get more into the content business. That convolutes this just a little.
Will you have more coverage of this on Between Bells?
Oh, of course. We're like almost dedicating 2 full hours to this today.